Hey everybody, it's Carl with Carl's Custom Amps, and today I'm just going to show you real quickly how to line up and put a tube in a tube amp. Um, I get this question a lot more often than you would think. You get folks who they just haven't ever changed out a tube. They're a little bit apprehensive about doing it for the first time. It's really very easy. There's only really two types of tubes you see in most guitar amps, and those are what we call a novel tube and a octal tube, and they have to do with the number of pins on their bases. These small tubes here, like this 12AX7, this is a novel tube. And so when you've got a 12AX7, and hopefully this will focus well enough, it's got 9 small pins. And what you'll notice is when I turn this over that these pins have a space. So the pins are continuous except for the gap there. That gap also lines up with the tube socket. As you can see, continuous and then a gap. And so when you're putting them in, all you're going to do is you're going to line that gap up with the tube socket. And you want to do this visually. You want to make sure that that's nice and lined up, that you know that it's right before you put any pressure. And you'll feel it. You'll feel that it's in there. It's much harder to do with one hand. And then you just put gentle pressure and you push it all the way in. When you do this, don't do it by feel. Line it up visually. Take the chassis out if you need to, flip the amp upside down, use a flashlight, because it's really easy to go and bend those pins if you put force on them without having it properly lined up. The second type of tube that you'll see, which is usually power tubes and rectifier tubes, is going to be an octal base tube. And that means that these octal base tubes, they've got 8 pins. So here's an octal base tube. This is a 6v6. As you can see, this is a little bit different. What it has instead is it has what we call a guide pin. The guide pin is what goes into this socket here. This guide pin is keyed. And by keyed, I mean there's this slot here. There's a corresponding slot on this tube. There it is facing us. That fits in there. And so again, what you're doing is you're visually lining up that the key on the tube with the socket, and then just applying gentle pressure down, and it locks in there. These can be a little trickier. If you don't have it lined up correctly, it's possible. I've seen people put enough force to force those in against the pin, and that can be disastrous. You're probably going to break the guide pin off. And if you do turn it on, there's no way to know how you're going to have that tube connected, and it may cause a real issue. So you want to be 100% sure when you put these tubes in that you put them in correctly. Fortunately, it's pretty easy to do, and just do care is all that's necessary. I hope you guys found this useful, and have a great day. Bye.